Okay, before we start this video was a fan request from a Predators fan inside the North 97 Discord. If you want to go join the Discord, the link is in the description below. We would really appreciate it. We're starting off our predictions tomorrow. We're restarting them fresh and new. We have almost 125 members in there. You can pick your favorite team role, talk to fans from all 32 teams. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Anyways, enjoy the video. Yes, the Nashville Predators. You know, the Predators are a strange team with me because no matter what, no matter how much you think they're going to go into a rebuild, no matter how much you think they're going to blow it up, they somehow prove you wrong. Like, for example, last year, it was looking like it was going to be a complete teardown for Nashville. They were going to trade every single player that they had away. I even made a video on it asking, well, who is out for Nashville? But like they have many times before, they proved me wrong. Players like Eeli Tolvanen and Juuse Saros really rose up to the plate and really carried this team to the playoffs. The Predators finished off 2021 NHL season with a 31-23-2 record for 64 points. They had a .571 win percentage, and I thought that was interesting because they made the playoffs with a barely 500 win percentage, and that is pretty interesting there. But in the playoffs, they didn't really get too far. They lost in 6 games to the Carolina Hurricanes. And honestly, if it weren't for Juuse Saros, it probably would have been a full 4-game sweep, if I'm being honest with you. This Canes team was really, really good. The Preds came back and won 2 games, though. And although 4 to 6 games went into overtime, the Canes still took the series. The only notable moves that were made in the offseason were the Ryan Ellis trade, which sent Ryan Ellis to the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for Philip Myers and Nolan Patrick. They then flipped Patrick over to Vegas and got prospect Cody Glass. Another notable move was the Victor Arvidsson trade, where the Preds sent Victor Arvidsson over to the Los Angeles Kings. Many Preds players were not happy about that move. And the Arvidsson trade is especially significant because that really led on to a lot of questions of who is happy or not in Nashville. It really led on to where, oh, well, are they really going to tear this down or are they just going to wait it out? Personally, I thought this season, if they were bad this season, they were going to tear it down. But like they have many times before, the Nashville Predators reluctantly proved me wrong. And not only have the Predators proved me wrong, they proved me wrong by a lot too. Now, I'm probably not the only one that imagined that if they were going to make the playoffs, they'd likely be in like a wild card position. But no, they're first in the West. It has been just a roaring surprise for the Nashville Predators. They played 36 games, have 21 wins, 11 losses, and 2 overtimes for 48 points. As I mentioned, they are first in the West. Now, they're not first in the West by a couple points. They're only first in the West by 1 to 2 points. But they're still first in the West. They've scored 112 goals, which has always been a struggle for Nashville. And they have only let in 97. They have a plus 17 difference. They are 10-5-0 at home, 13-6-2 on the road. And in their last 10, they are 8-1-1. Now, I mentioned in my previous Hurricanes and Flames videos, right there in the eye icon, that if you are good at home and good on the road, that separates you from a good team and an elite team. And I don't know if Nashville's an elite team. I've been really considering it, and I'm starting to lean towards yes. They have rebounded from so much negativity of a rebuild to a contender. That being said, we're going to go into forwards leading the charge here. We're going to start off with an interesting player in Mikael Granlund. Now, if you don't know who Mikael Granlund is at all, I don't really blame you. He has really evolved into one of the most underrated players in the NHL. He is currently second in Preds scoring, and barely anybody knows about him. This season, Mikael Granlund has played 34 games, has 5 goals, 27 assists for 32 points. Not many people know about this guy, but he almost has a point per game, and that's crazy. The next player I want to discuss for forwards leading the charge is Filip Forsberg. Probably the biggest player in the trade rumors where people were like, oh, is he going to get traded? And he's also in his contract year as well, which is crazy. But Forsberg has ignored all of those rumors, all of that criticism, and has been insane this season for the Predators. This season, Forsberg has played 26 games, has 18 goals, 11 assists for 29 points. Forsberg has really racked up the goals as of late, and he was injured for a little bit there, but he's really come back and really put up the goals, specifically. Now, you see, I want to discuss someone different instead of an actual player on the Preds. I want to discuss a rookie who has been surprising people, but nobody's really talking about him. I want to talk about Tanner Jeannot. I think that's how you say his name. Now, you could argue Tanner Jeannot as one of the dark horses for the Calder. Although you got guys like Zegras and Raymond and Seider competing for it, Jeannot wouldn't be a bad pick for it because he's been solid for this successful Predators team. This season, GATO has played 36 games, has 11 goals, 11 assists for 22 points. As a rookie putting up those numbers, that's actually very exceptional. And I mean, he's one of the most underrated rookies around the league. And there's a lot of rookies like that. Now, there are many other forwards that I would love to discuss, like Matt Duchene, the tough guy, Jakob Trenin. I'll show a picture right here. He fought Zdeno Chara earlier in the year, and it's one of the most iconic pictures ever. But anyways, we have to move on. We're going to move on to the blue line X Factors here, starting off with arguably the most underrated defenseman in the NHL now, Roman Jouse. After winning the Norris Trophy for the best defenseman in the NHL in the 2019-2020 NHL season, Roman Jouse was really overshadowed by many other defensemen like Charlie McAvoy, Victor Hedman, and Cale Makar. But Jouse is arguably still a top 5 defenseman in the NHL, as he currently leads the Predators in scoring and is crazy on that blue line. So far this season, Roman Jouse has played 34 games, has 12 goals, 22 assists for 34 points. A point per game as a defenseman, and he leads the Predators in points. Just all around an incredibly underrated season that nobody is talking about. The other blue line X Factor player I want to talk about is Mattias Ekholm. After being signed to a 4-year extension and partner defenseman Ryan Ellis leaving in the offseason, Ekholm had to take a much bigger role with this Predators team, likely playing top 2 minutes with Roman Jouse. This season, Ekholm has played 35 games, has 2 goals, 9 assists for 11 points. Not really putting up the offense, but he's taken a much bigger defensive role for this Predators team. And finally, we move on to the backbone. Arguably the most underrated goaltender in the entire NHL. We're going to discuss Juuse Saros. Saros was really thought of to be the next starter for the Nashville Predators in the 2020 play-in round against the Arizona Coyotes, where although they lost the series, they played very solid. When Pekka Rinne retired at the end of the 2021 season, all eyes were on Saros. And Saros has not failed to disappoint. He's played 29 games, has 19 wins, 9 losses, and only 1 overtime for a 2.21 goals against average, a .929 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. He has been superb for the Predators. The Nashville Predators have been one of the most entertaining teams in the NHL to watch this season, with so many underrated forwards, so many underrated defensemen, and a great underrated goaltender. Now, whatever the rest of the season and beyond holds for the Nashville Predators, whether it's a bright or a dark future, I'm definitely in for the ride. You have guys like GATO, Forsberg, and Granlund leading the charge. You got Jouse and Ekholm on the X Factors, and then you have an underrated goalie in Jouse on the backbone. You cannot help but be hyped for this team. Anyways, guys, that is it for me. If you guys want to see some more Nashville Predators related content, take a look at my playlist here on the eye icon. It should pop up on your screen around right now. It'll show every single Nashville Predators related video ever made on the channel. Thank you all for watching. For Sports Light, I really do appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below what your guys' thoughts on the Predators are and what your favorite part about them has been so far this season. I gotta say, it's gotta be Tanner GATO, if I'm saying his name right. Anyways, thank you all for watching. For Sports Light, make sure to subscribe down below. And I will see you guys in the next